Okay, you guys, so I want to talk in this video about primal desire, okay? So first of all, I work out. So this is me, okay? I'm 5'3", so I'm pretty petite, okay? But I'm strong. And because I am in touch with my physicality, and I still have a libido even at 62, I'm attracted to men who match my level of physicality. Like when I see them visually, I want to see strength and I want to see energy and how they walk. That's what gets me excited to like, oh, this is a guy I would be interested in. Now, the problem is that many men do not age um, energetically like I have aged. Now, I don't want, it's true, a lot of people are like, would not be interested in me at all. This isn't about you being interested in me. This is me sharing what I'm interested in, okay? So try to just learn something here. Most women my age have lost their libido, okay? I know this from talking to men and men who have dated women in their 60s and said, I dated this woman, she was really great, but we were sexually incompatible. And when I asked what that means, she didn't like sex anymore. She hated sex. I talked to a lot of men whose wives lost interest in sex after menopause. So the number of women over 60 who still like sex, I do not know what that number is. And I take no hormones, I'm just naturally healthy. There is no reason that a woman over 60 has lost her libido. There's no reason at all. There's a health dysfunction. I'm going to just say it's a health dysfunction. It's not normally healthy. I don't think we should accept it as like a normally healthy thing. So, what I want to say is that a woman who's still in touch with her sexuality, that's what I want to call it, touch with her sexuality, is going to want a guy who exudes sexual energy, who inspires her primal desire. And I can see a man's primal sexual energy usually into the 50s for sure. And some guys have it into their 60s. But after that, a lot of them, if they're not lifting weights, their muscles are shrinking. Heavy weights, I'm not talking about 2-pound dumbbells and walking, they have lost their muscle mass and their physicality, even if they still get hard. And they might be sweet, they might be good providers, they might be interesting, but they're not igniting my primal desire. So guys, if you want to maintain your primal attractiveness, I don't know if you need testosterone. I'm not saying that, but you've got to lift heavy weights and do some interval training to keep your muscle mass, and also like get regular massages so you're not like some rigid guy. You got to be able to move somewhat. You've got to maintain your body if you want a sexual woman to want you sexually, because if you don't maintain your body, you're going to get these women that lost their interest in sex. You're not going to attract a woman like me who is looking for I'm going to fuck this guy. And that's my honest truth. I'm not trying to put anyone down. I'm really just sharing my experience. My problem is not, some people have been like, Sharzad, you're too old. You're such a whore. No one will ever want you. Well, that's not true. I have met men on dating apps, professional men who knew about my sugar daddies and wanted to date me, but I wasn't interested in any of them. Now, you might say, well, no decent man will want you. Okay, nobody might want me. That might be fine. I might be too old and nobody will want me, but that's not what this video is about. This video isn't about me saying nobody wants me. Feel so rejected. This video is about me saying I do not feel attracted to men my age and older because they have lost their primal, they don't bring out my primal desire, and that is the problem. It's the men that are the problem. And my problem is that I'm a sexual being. I'm in touch with my sexuality, and I want a man who brings out a primal desire in me. And these older guys don't, because they haven't maintained their physicality, frankly. And I think that's fine for these men. But that's why they end up with women who don't like to fuck anymore, frankly. And I don't know what the answer is, but I'm putting it out there now. If this was 50 years ago and I didn't make my own money and I was super needy, maybe I would get together with one of these guys and just put up with him going down and licking my pussy. Because that's what happens. These guys that can't get hard anymore or whatever, they get really good at oral. And some women are fine with that because they don't like to fuck. They are really not that sexual anymore. They're not in touch with their primal desire. So that's a good match. If you're an older guy that is not physically fit, you should not expect to find a woman who likes to fuck. I think you should expect to find a woman who is going to like sex with you as long as like sensual and sweet and you're really good at oral. But any man who wants a woman who likes to fuck, you're going to have to have a certain physique, you've got to be in touch with your masculine energy and have a good physique. This is my theory, and I'm just coming up with this now because I've been making videos about this the last few days. Like, why can't I feel attracted to men who are older than me? And today on Twitter, someone I follow made a tweet about primal desire, and it really got me thinking about, yeah, I love talking about primal desire. It just brought out that feeling in me and how I don't feel that for men who are older than me. And ultimately, if I want a relationship, I have to feel attracted to men 60 to 70. And that is a big fucking order that I do not think I can fulfill. Now, if I did start feeling attracted to men 60 to 70, and they started saying to me, Shahrzad, I just think you're too old for me. I think you're too ugly. I think you're too much of a whore. Too whorish. Then I would make a video about that. But frankly, men love a sexual woman. And the problem is finding a woman over 50 who likes sex. It's a huge fucking problem. There's a shortage of them. If you look at the escort pages or the sugar daddy pages, you will not find that many women over 40 or over 50 because they don't want sex anymore. A lot of guys do not want to date a woman who's 40 or 30 because they have a daughter that age and it creeps them out. So that's what I want to say. And I'm curious about the women who like men 60 to 70s. If you still like fucking, if you find these men fuckable, or if you are looking more for like a nice nurturing guy to spend time with or travel with, and sex is not that important to you anymore. And if you do have sex, if you just prefer oral, if you actually still like fucking, that's what I want to know. And also, like, if you work out, like, I think this would be a very interesting study to do. Frankly, yeah, and I'm definitely in touch with my sexuality, and I think that's a sign of health. And the moment I stop, every time I lose my libido, I get worried because my libido is a sign of my health. It's a sign of vitality. It's a sign of aliveness. It's that doesn't mean I go around abusing it or just using it, but it means that I have to feel it. I have to feel my libido the same way I feel my breath, the same way I feel, anything else. Like, it's important to me. And I like to nurture it. So anyway, you can get older and still work out, as you can see. And I've had 3 kids. I've got my stretch marks. Can't really see them here, and this is all natural. I've never done any lipo or breast lifts or anything, and I'm just this 5'3" girl, and I think a lot of men would be happy with someone like me who likes to take care of him and nurture him and have sex with him. But the problem I have is, I don't know anyone that I want to give that to. It's a huge problem. you know. And women, as we're getting older, we're now taking better care of ourselves. Like when my mom and my grandma were this age, they were just skinny, and back then women were just doing cardio, but now we're like in our bodies and we're strong. We want a guy who's strong. So that's my dilemma right here, and I would love to hear your advice on this topic.